Thank you for tuning back in. Today I have a very special guest. All the way, he will introduce himself. You're going to know him better. And he is a very powerful man of God. And I want you to stay tuned. Listen carefully and you'll be empowered, inspired and empowered very much. I want you to introduce himself. So welcome.
Bless you, woman of God. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah.
My name is Prophet Onyeka Power. I'm a young man that God is raising in this end time and his generation to do the impossible for God. But you see, me becoming a prophet, it didn't happen overnight. There was a process. See, I grew up in Brixton with my mum being a single parent, where a lot of things didn't go the way I thought it would have been between my mum and my dad. So it left me no option to do what I had to do. And you see, me growing up, I always desired to be a footballer. I always decided to become someone in my generation, but I thought it would have been in football. So me growing up from the age of, let's say from 11 to the age of 15, I was desiring football so much, but it looked like it was not working. So where I grew up in my neighborhood, before I even became into gangs, we first started off as friends. Before you realize, we deviated. And after, at the age of 15, I led a gang with one of my friends at the age of 15, and it was in Camberwell. And before we realized, we went astray, getting involved with the police and knife crime activities. So many things happened to the point that I even saw one of my friends get stabbed in the heart and be at the point of death in front of my face. Also saw one of my friends get run over in front of my face and the point of death. So my life was going not the way I expected it, where getting involved in so many activities that I thought that when am I ever going to become the man that I always knew in my heart that I will be, that great man, that destiny changer, that rule breaker, that person that will inspire many people. But I thought it was in that direction, but not knowing that how God had a different plan for me and a greater plan for me. You see, in life, the Bible says that how man can plan their path, or man can plan their ways, but only the Lord will direct their steps. So I had it in mind that that was my form of plan, but God had a different plan for me. So at the age of, let's say, 16, I started going to church. When I was still going to church, I was still doing things. I was still doing the night activities. I was still doing involved in so many things that it could only take the hand of God for me to be saved. Then I told myself at the age of 18 that this life that I'm living is either going to lead me into jail or death. Because prior to that, I saw a few of my friends go in jail for murder. I've seen them go in jail for drugs. So many things. So I thought that if I don't step up or change my life around, it's either jail or death. Jail because I either killed someone, or me being dead because I got killed. So I said, let me take this God seriously, this God thing seriously. I said it in that way at that time. I heard about God before, I knew about God before. I said, let me have my own personal encounter. There's one thing hearing about God, another thing having your own personal encounter. I believe that everyone in the Bible that had a personal encounter with Jesus, their life will remain the same. So I said, let me have my own personal encounter. This Jesus thing that I'm hearing about, let me see if it's real. So at the age of 18, I had my personal encounter. I felt the love of God. I felt that this is the life that I want to live. And I felt the presence of God. And from that day, at the age of 18, I never looked back. I gave my life to Christ. I dropped what I was doing. I changed my ways. The friends I used to be with before, I stopped communicating with them at that time. And I said, let me just follow Jesus and become the man of God that God said I would be. And here I am today, at 24. I'm a married man. I'm an ordained prophet.
Jesus.
I'm also living in my own apartment. I am leading many youths, and there's a great revival and great move that by God's grace, God has picked me to spearhead.
Yes.
So I'm blessed by the grace of God.
Wow. My viewers, you've heard the story and how from how he started and how he ended up in crime. And that's why we're bringing this awareness to talk to you youth, to speak to you that is in gang, drugs and alcohol, that either you change or you end up in prison or you either die, something bad will happen. It does not end up good. That's why we're bringing this awareness, telling you, you know, choose the right path. And that's what Prophet did. But he's going to tell us more in details how he managed, because I know most of you are watching me, you're asking, yes, I want to come out of this gang. How do I do it? I know he touched a little bit, but we're going to go more into details. Wow, Prophet, that is a very, very powerful, inspirational story.
Thank you, woman of God.
So you were raised with a single mother.
Yes.
So out of that, did you gain pain? And then how did you start into the crime?
If I be honest with you, my mother done her best because my mother worked more than one job.
Yeah.
So she provided everything that I needed at that time.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're in, see, back to how that when you're in the wrong surroundings, it can affect your morals.
Yes.
I'm paraphrasing. So I believe that, I think is more based on the area I grew up with and the people I grew up with.
Yes.
That's what lured me into the gang life. So my mom done her best. She provided all the needs, but my surroundings was not good. And many people that have joined gangs, or many people have went to that lifestyle, they are good people.
Yes.
But their surroundings, the friends they mix with, is very, very important, because there's a saying, show me your friends, I will show you your future. That saying, right? Hope you caught that nugget. So, like I was saying, so it was my surroundings that really lured me in, because I was always a leader, but you know, when you're around the surroundings and after a while you start to act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dating a particular man and you're with him for so long, before you realize, you start picking up his habits. You start saying things that he does. So when you're around a certain surroundings and you don't make sure that you focus on why you've been born or focus on your purpose, before you realize, gradually you're derailing.
Yes.
You're derailing. And before you know it, you're in that lifestyle.
Yeah. And guys, that's the same exactly thing I've been telling you. Choose your friend wisely. Who do you work with? Who are you dating? Who do you call? Who do you give your ears to? It matters who you hang around with. Walk with a prophet. I'm sure you end up being a prophet.
Amen.
Amen. Wow. So how did you manage? Because I'm working with so many people, and you know, these are kind of people, they don't even want to reveal themselves, but they're struggling with drugs, they're struggling with crime. Just because they want to fit in.
Yes.
Maybe the environment is the same. I was in that environment, but God helped me to come out. But maybe there's someone who is struggling, they don't know. Maybe their background is not even Christianity. Maybe when they try to come out, something happened. You know, there's always something. Yes, they're willing, but they don't know how to do it. How can you empower a young man who is in the same position? Their mom has done good, their mother has done the best, but they're still finding themselves in the position.
You see, like I said before, woman of God, that check your friendship. Number two, when you know why you've been born, and when you discover your divine purpose, you move by what God is saying concerning your life. And my advice to the young people is that how you have to understand how you have been created for a unique assignment. Number one, and there's a reason why God made you. Number two, and you need people that can help you, like mentors and leaders that have been there and done that, because the best teacher most time is the spirits. So the reason why I can relate to many youths across the board is because if Prophet Power, that was an ex-gang leader, can now become a prophet, then there's hope for me. So they need more mentors, more people that can guide them, and more mentors that really love them and interested in them. Because a lot of mentors nowadays, they're not really in for them. They're just doing it as a job. But I believe that how when you have more mentors, more people that has been there, like more youth workers, like more opportunities for people to share what they're going through. Because a lot of young people, they're bitter. They went through pain. Maybe mommy wasn't there, maybe daddy wasn't there. So they need someone that they can cry on. They need someone they can confide in. They need someone that they can be on the same level. A lot of these youngsters, though I'm a prophet, but in order for me to win them, I have to come down to their level. And you see, many people understand that how by you come down to the level, it's not like you're devaluing yourself, but for them to feel free with you, or for them to feel like they can confide in you, you have to make sure that you're not going to judge them or condemn them. So my advice is that how mentorship, people that can help them and encourage them and encourage them despite their mess and what they've been through.
Yes, because that's the other thing. Because most pastors are judging these young people when they come to their church drunk, when they come to their church with rastas, when they come with their earpiece, they start looking down on them. And people need to understand that they are called to help, not to condemn anybody. And that's why I called you to this show, because I knew you are qualified to speak to somebody. You are qualified to walk with somebody who is watching. And I'm sure somebody will call you and ask you, can you walk with me? Because our youth are lost. Our youth, they don't know where to go. So you meet up with the youth, you say you need to change, but you're not showing him the way.
Show them the way.
You just, just telling you need to change, what you're doing is wrong, but you're not showing them the way. So I like what you're saying. So Prophet, I know before you became a prophet, there was a journey. There's a story. But was it difficult for you? Was it a day, like, let's say when you stopped being a gang, you said, I'm going to change. Was there a day your friends ever called you? I know maybe you changed your number. Did they look for you? Did you ever feel like going back to look for them? Was it boring?
No, because see, when you realize that the true satisfaction is when you find your purpose, you want to look back. And you see, the problem was, I never discovered the truth until I found Christ. So if I can discover the truth, why would I follow a lie? So when you discover the truth, it will be very unwise for you to go back to where the lie is. So the reason why it wasn't difficult for me to go back, because I was in darkness, but the Lord brought me into His marvelous light. So because I discovered the truth, I said, no, there is actually these gangsters, why they're gangsters, there's something they're looking for. There is something they're searching. But until you find Jesus, there will always be a missing void in you. So when I found Jesus, I said, yes, this is the diamond I've been looking for. And that's why I never looked back. So my answer to your question is how, because I found Jesus, and because, in fact, what helped me is that how I made sure I was always in the presence of God. That's what helped me. Always in the presence of God. That's what helped me.
Wow, powerful testimony. Guys, you need to be in the presence of God, because when there is a presence of God, that's where there is liberty.
Yes, madam.
And when you're seeking the face of God, He will show you the direction. I came to realize, when you see this youngster, then gang leaders, I mean, they have leadership in them, and that's what the enemy is using in the wrong direction. You see someone, he can influence so many people, and you find that if that one person gets saved, if the whole crowd gets saved, they start following them. And that's what I always tell them, the reason why you have the urge to be a gang leader, to do crazy things, because God, you have the gift of God in you to do it in the right way. But the enemy want to use it for evil. So guys,
oh my God, there's something that you said that, and I preached a message on Facebook on Monday, that how your warfare is determined what you carry.
Wow.
So because I was carrying something to offer to my generation, the devil knew that how if I can lure him into that direction, instead of him impacting his generation, he may destroy his generation. So the leadership that I always had, because me being a prophet, it was always inside me. But devil said that if I can derail him or give him some false satisfaction or some false motivation or some false power, that will make it feel like he will be a leader, but in a wrong way. So
and that's what I always tell people, you're chasing something you never catch. These young youngsters, they're chasing something you will never catch it, because every time you're about to catch it, the enemy will pull it further. So you never catch what you're looking for. The satisfaction is not in the world. It's either you change, because there are many women, many mothers are crying. They raise their kids good. They raise their kids in a church, in a godly foundation. But the kids are in prison. The kids are being deported. Things are happening. Women are crying. And that's why we're bringing this awareness to tell young people, you can do much better. You can do much better. Look at Prophet right now. He was an ex-gang leader. An ex-gang leader in Brixton. If you know Brixton, I'm from London. if you know Brixton, you know what we're talking about. If you know Brixton, we never used to go Brixton. You can't go Brixton. It was an area of its own. Because even when I heard that you're from Brixton, I was like, no, you have to come and talk to these people. You know, because that's a bad man area. That's how we knew it. So I'm so humbled that God has transformed you. God has changed you. And look, you ain't got nothing to lose. Most young people say Christianity is boring. It is not boring. Being saved is not boring. Actually, you gain so much. Everything that you had lost, you gain. You mentioned that Facebook. I would like, just tell people your name on Facebook, because I would like them to follow you and listen to the word where you minister on your platform.
Okay, I'm on Instagram on Tuesday and Thursday. My Instagram name is Onyeka _Power. Then Facebook every Monday at 10:30. My Facebook name is Prophet Onyeka Power. So you can find me on these social media.
I'll link the description down below, so kindly follow him. You will be empowered. He just something else. He's power packed. You'll be able to be, and he doesn't mind walking with you. It doesn't matter where you live. He's ready to walk with you. If you want to be, to change, he's there. He does not condemn anybody. He told you he's 24, so you can imagine he understands your ways. Man of God, when I got saved as well and I became a pastor, I love you because I want to see a change in the youth. And one person told me, no, you need to stop doing that because, there's this level pastors put themselves, like you can't go down to them.
Superior.
You want to be superior. And someone told me, no, you need to stop doing that because they'll never respect you. But I didn't want respect. I wanted to win them. And that's one thing I like what you said. You had to go down on them. You have to speak, you have to laugh with them. But it doesn't mean that you're backslidden.
Or you're the same level.
You understand? So I like what you said because sometimes we really need to go down to their level. Speak their language.
Speak their language,
Speak their language. And that's why I never want any word. I always learn their words out there. So even when I meet with the worstest, craziest man out there, when I speak their language, they'll understand me. Then they will catch my attention like, are you sure you're a pastor? So the work of God that he has given us, it ain't easy, but we're going to make it through Christ Jesus.
Amen.
And I heard you say you have a beautiful wife. How can a beautiful wife have how did she accept you as an ex-gangster? Did you meet when you were a gang?
Oh, no.
Or you already transformed?
I met my wife, Pastor Celia Power, at 21.
Okay.
So by that time I was already a man of God. But I just came to the church where she was serving at. Well, she's still serving now. And she's been there for over 12 years. It's over a decade. And when we met, we didn't see each other in that way. I never even thought of a relationship. But you see, my Bishop Emmanuel also answered. God bless you wherever you are. Papa, I salute you. He said, okay, we're both on fire, so let us organize a youth conference in 2017. And that's how it started. So we was friends, and after we was friends for quite a while, we realized that it can be more than friends. So we went time in prayer, fasting, and before you realized, we started dating, then we got engaged, and then May, that just went, we got married.
I saw the wedding, it was beautiful.
It was a very powerful wedding. It was very intimate, and very, it was glorious.
Wow.
And it shows us, it showed me that how it doesn't matter where you're coming from, it's matter where you're going. So I didn't allow my past to haunt me, but I allowed my past to give me experience, so that when someone is going down that path, say, hey, I went down that path, and look where I almost ended up, but look at me now. So my past is to bless someone, encourage someone that how God is still with you, and you can still become that great man, that great woman that God has called you to become.
I'm gonna take you a little bit back. When you were in all these things, I'm sure you had this attitude, you don't care. How was your mom? How did she take it? Was she always talking to you? How did she take it?
My mom spoke to me for quite a while, but after a while, she actually kind of like left everything to God. And she, as a parent, when you realize that your son or daughter has gone astray, you don't fight them. A lot of them fight them. When they fight them, it gets worse. Don't fight them. But the best solution is prayer. So we need some prayer. Mother, I know you might have a son that's going astray. You keep on talking to him, it's getting more worse. Father, I know you might have a daughter that's gone astray. But the best way to get them is prayer. So you don't nag to them, but you nag in prayer. And God will answer.
So right now, I'm sure your mom, she's super excited.
Oh, she's excited because a son has become a prophet. He's happy.
Wow. What about your dad? Did they ever come back to you?
No, my dad's still around, but everyone's living their life.
Wow. But he's happy.
He's happy. He's happy. He's happy. He's happy. He knows I'm a man of God. He's happy. He's excited. Yeah, so everything's well.
Wow. That's so powerful. Wow, I'm so excited. Wow. Now, from an ex-gang to a pastor, to a prophet, ordained and registered prophet.
Yes.
He has a church. Actually, tell us where your church is.
I fellowship at Kingdom Life Ministries in North London. The address is 117 Breeze Grove, N16, 6UR. Amen. So Kingdom Life Ministries under the leadership of Bishop Answer.
What's the closest train station? Let's say I'm coming by train.
Okay, it's Seven Sisters or Breeze Grove. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the closest train station.
If you don't have a church, why don't you just join us every Sunday there? What time do you start?
We start 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
11 a.m. to 1:30. If you're in North London, if you're in East London, if you can travel from anywhere, just join us at 11 a.m. You shall be blessed. You will be blessed. Send your children. Maybe your kids don't have the right man of God. We do have the right people and who are helping the young people and the old people as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so we bless God for your life, man of God.
Thank you, woman of God.
I can't wait to have your wife here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I can't wait for the people to see and talk to women as well,
Yes.
how to wait on God. There are so many women who are desperate for husbands.
Yes.
So they end up marrying gangs, gang leaders, end up marrying alcoholic, then they end up being in a domestic violence because they chose the wrong guy. As you first said, you need to work with the right people. And that's what I told them. I gave them the 10 tips of how to come out of any addiction, either gang or whatever. And one of them was to change their number. You have to change your number. You have to change the friends you're working with, and you shall make it. So we're almost coming to an end. So I want just our prophet to give us the last word as we are coming to an end, and I'm sure he'll come back again. Yes.
The last words for anybody watching this interview, that God is still in the business of doing wonders. And anyone that feels like their destiny has been derailed, your destiny is right next to you. But my prayer for you today is that may God send the right people that will help you to fulfill your destiny in life. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. I will link his description, the address for the church, his email. If you need to communicate with our prophet, you will definitely, he does reply. He replies to his DMs, he replies to emails. He does do what God has called him to do. So until next time, please stay connected. His Real Talk Show. God bless you.